Namaste and welcome to this online class with me, Mags, from Just Breathe Yogashala. It's my humble privilege to share in this practice with you today in celebration of International Yoga Day. Now, with a lot unfolding in our lives and our world at this moment, I'm sure a lot more of us are turning towards our yoga practice to help us find that still centered space within ourselves, that space that helps us to calmly navigate that balance between this order and chaos around us. And it's here where we are reminded that the primary purpose of our yoga practice is helping us to find that calmness from the fluctuations and the turmoil within the mind and its incessant stream of thoughts. And today we're going to focus on a very calming, very gentle practice to also just show us that there's more to our yoga practice than just the asana and the movement. And if we create space for stillness, that in itself, along with deep conscious rest, can be very invigorating and transformative. Let's settle in for practice. Then we'll need a couple of supports just to make sure we create a real comfortable environment for our deep relaxation. So grab a blanket, a nice firm blanket, and maybe have another blanket ready on standby. We'll also need a small, firmish little pillow, or we can just use that second blanket to substitute an eye pillow, or maybe just a scarf or blanket to cover your eyes towards the end of our practice. And then a yoga strap or a regular belt, or even that same scarf if you're using that for the eyes. Good, so once we've got that ready, last thing, maybe a bolster or one or two pillows just to make our end practice nice and supported. So once we've got all of that ready, we can get comfortable into a nice seated, easy position. So if you're finding the spine is slumping, just place a support under the hips. Maybe you'll roll a blanket, maybe a foam, a yoga block. I personally prefer a zafu, but find what works for you. So we want to create that space to lengthen the spine, feel the belly drawing in and up, draw the shoulders down and away from the ears, and we create that space to come inward towards ourselves. So the eyes aren't already closed, closing the eyes, or just stare down at a spot in front of you. We use that breath to take it down into our center. Drawing that breath in through the nose, trace it down the length of the spine. Just follow that path again out through the nose. Take a few mindful breaths as you just allow the external world to fade away. Settle that awareness and that intention towards this inner landscape, and our intention, one of creating a safe space for deep relaxation. We'll open our practice with 3 Oms and Anando Hum mantra. I personally like using mantra to open up practice, to earmark it as a sacred practice, also to create, wherever we are practicing from, a space of community and connection. So let's take a deep breath in. Exhale, empty that breath. Our next breath in to prepare. Anandoham Anando Anandoham Anando Anandoham Anando Anandoham Anando Anandoham Anando Anandoham Anando. Let that mantra continue mentally, silently, as a backdrop to your practice. Anandoham, I am bliss, I am bliss. Take a deep breath in, sweep those arms up, bring the palms together to touch, and exhale, draw those hands down to heart center. Namaste. Welcome to your practice. Sitting up nice and tall. From here we'll come into our pranayama. We'll do 6 rounds of our Brahmari breath, or our humming bee breath. And it's a very simple, effective breathwork exercise to help us deal and release tension and trauma on a cellular level, in that it directly stimulates the vagus nerve. So quite simply to do, we take a full breath in, and for the duration of our exhale, we'll hum that breath out. So simply so that will be our exercise, 6 rounds. So let's find that nice, tall Sukhasana, easy pose. Shoulders down the length of the spine, feel that lift in the heart. Let's take a full deep breath in to prepare. Allow the breath to return to normal here. Just sitting in that space, left by that vibration. Take a moment to check in, to feel. And very softly blink the eyes open, taking in your surroundings. Beautiful. Taking in your surroundings. Then moving any props out of the way, we come to lie down on our back. Lying from the supine position lying on your back, we're going to draw the toes towards the shins, stretch out through the heels. Just feel the spine pressing and connected into the floor. We draw the awareness, the weight into the left leg, breathing in, right leg extends up. Stay engaged and flexed into that foot, send that foot up towards the ceiling. And then following that out breath, we lower that leg down to a hover just off the floor. Inhale, raise that leg up. Exhale, lower, hover down. Continue following your breath here. Last breath in here, we lift and hold that leg. Keep lengthening, extending that leg up towards the ceiling, feeling that back of that leg opening and releasing here. Let's take one more full breath, lengthen it up. Exhale, slow breath out, release it down. Take a moment, feel into that right side leg. What do you notice? What do you feel here? Now ground and heavy into that right leg. Draw the right toes towards the shin. Awareness into that left leg. Create a sense of lightness as we breathe in, floating that left foot up off the floor. Exhale, lower down to a hover. Inhale. Exhale. Continue following your breath here. One last breath here, breathing in, keeping that foot lifted, send that foot up towards the ceiling, draw the toes back. Notice, feel that activation, that awakening in that left leg. Let's take one last full expansive breath here. Exhale, lower down, float that leg back down to the floor. Now bring that awareness into the left leg, maybe feeling that sense of both legs evened out again, that balance restored. Next we place the hands underneath the buttocks just to support the lower back a little bit here. We feel the belly drawing in and up, and as we breathe in, we lift those feet up to the ceiling, both together, drawing the toes towards the shins, feeling those thighs rolling inward. Exhale, slowly releasing down to that hover, but not straining or forcing here. Keeping that balanced effort. Breathing in, raise those feet up, send the heels to the ceiling, straight legs if we can here. Exhale, lower back down to that hover. Breathe in, follow your breath. One last breath here, lifting those feet up, lengthen them, thighs activated, inward rolling. Notice with awareness. Slow exhale, releasing those feet down to the floor. We can drop the pinky sides of the toes out to the side for a moment, arms relax to the sides. As we just breathe in and notice this flow of prana, this life force energy rushing through this body. Our next breath in, we reach the arms up and overhead, pulling the toes away from the body. Again, we'll move dynamically with the breath. This time we'll breathe in, reach the arms up. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, back down onto our back. Following our breath. Inhale. Exhale. Good. One last round, just like that. Breathe in. Exhale. Inhale, we sit up tall, Dandasana. Hands underneath the shoulders, draw those shoulders down and back. Now check in and feel here. If it feels like you're rounding and dropping in the spine, this is a good space to use your first support. So perhaps using your blanket, your block, your pillow as support. You want to sit more towards the front edge. Feel those shoulders drawing back and down. So the focus here is keeping the tailbone down into the floor, keeping the backs of the knees pressing down into the floor. Next, we can take our yoga strap or our belt or scarf, place it across the balls of the feet. We lengthen that strap however long we need to keep that spine straightened up. Shoulders down the length of the spine, reach the heart towards the feet. And as we exhale, folding from the hips, deepening that stretch in the spine. Let's notice that breath. Let's notice with awareness what do we feel and experience here in this physical body. How can we deepen that breath? Use that inhale to reach into the edges of that space and to exhale, soften a little deeper. One more full breath here. Exhale, gently softening. You can release your strap. Slowly bringing the body back up, moving any supports out of the way. And we come to lie again on the back, this time bending into the legs. And so we come to lie on the back, this time bending into the legs, soles of the feet down, soles of the feet to the floor. We bring the arms out to the sides, making sure both shoulder blades are flat into the floor. Take a deep, full breath in. And as we exhale, we drop both feet over to the left, keeping that right shoulder blade down into the floor. Breathe in, bring these to center. Exhale, release over to the right. We continue following that breath. Inhale, knees to center. Exhale to the left. We can keep our gaze to the ceiling, or perhaps let that head turn to the right side. Breathing in, knees and head to center. Exhale, knees to the right, perhaps that head to the left. Inhale, back to center. Let's take it one last time to the left. Now you can stay right here, or perhaps we take it slightly deeper. We take this top leg, extend it into that back arm, into that left arm. Right arm reaches back for the left toes as we come into a stretch called cat's pulling its tail. So it does feel like we're pulling ourselves into opposite ends. So we want to keep again that focus of that right shoulder blade drawing down towards the floor. Take a moment, deep breath in. Exhale, gently let go of the feet, bring the knees back to center, arms again out to the side. Full breath in through the nose. Exhale, drop the legs over to the right. Again, option of staying right here or coming into that additional stretch. So top leg moves into that extended arm to the right. Bottom leg, left hand reaches for those toes. Draw the left shoulder back down. We want to focus on lengthening into that top leg. So really a lovely deep stretch in the body. If the body is open to this, take one more expansive breath here. And exhale, slowly letting go. We come back to center, resting on our back. Good. Now here we're going to move into coming And we come back to center. Bending into the legs, we roll over to the side. Using the hand, push yourself up to seated. We're just going to take a moment to set ourselves up for our final posture. And for this, we'll end with a lovely long Shavasana in a Yoga Nidra. So starting off, we grab our bolster or a pillow or two under the knees for support. An additional support like a rolled up blanket is also quite nice under the ankles, just for additional support. Now, depending on the environment, it might be good to have a second blanket available just to put over your body. Our body temperature does tend to drop quite quickly in our relaxation posture. Now, we'll want to have that little foam, that pillow close by. That comes in right underneath the head. We want to use the hands, lengthen the neck out, draw the chin down into the chest, and relax those arms along the sides of the body. Using your eye pillow or scarf, take a moment, cover the eyes. And we want to create an environment that we can remain still in. So to do that, we create as much support for the body as is needed, so the body can really deeply relax. We want to create a quiet environment, free from noise and distraction. We want to make sure it's dark so that the nervous system can fully shut off, restore. And then lastly, a warm environment. Because the moment the body gets cold, everything tenses up again. So take a moment to set yourself up, making any physical adjustments. And then you'll remain in this Shavasana position as I take us through to the next part of our practice. So after making all physical adjustments in your Shavasana, you want to surrender now to complete stillness. So allow this physical body to completely soften, to surrender. From this point on, resist that temptation to move, to create that physical distraction. Instead, from here on, we'll use the breath to let go of residual tension building up. So we start to notice this breath flowing in through the nose, out through the nose. As you notice that breath, allow that exhalation to create this complete heaviness within your body. Feel that surrender, a complete softening. And we keep this breath natural and smooth in and out through the nose without needing to control this breath. Just simply step back and notice. At this point of our practice, we take a moment to set a sankalpa, an intention. We all have many desires, ambitions, and goals, but for a lot of us, they just stay dreams and we don't always follow through. Now, a sankalpa can be seen as a seed that we create during our Yoga Nidra practice that we plant within the bed of the mind. when the mind is clear and free from stress, then we create the perfect fertile environment for these seeds to grow and to sprout, to blossom within our life. So when we set our sankalpa, we want to say it as if it's already so. So not, for instance, saying, I hope to be healthy and happy, but instead stating that I am healthy and happy as something that is already so. So take a moment and consider your sankalpa. This can be anything supporting your path. Then mentally repeat that sankalpa 3 times, feeling it within your heart center, creating an image of that sankalpa as if it is already so. Now remember the sankalpa. Later in our practice we'll recall this again. For now, settle back to that awareness of your breath. We'll move through a rotation of consciousness where I'll point out different parts of the body and you just send mental awareness to these different parts. Keeping the body perfectly still, just that mental awareness. We start on the right side of the body, the right hand thumb, second finger, third finger, fourth and fifth. Bring the awareness to the palm of the hand, the back of the hand, the wrist, the forearm, the elbow, upper arm. Draw that awareness down the right side of the body towards the right hip, the waist, towards the right thigh, the knee. We move down the leg to the ankle, the calf, the heel of that right foot, the sole of the foot, the top of the foot. The right toes, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Bring the awareness to the left side of the body. The left hand thumb, second finger, third finger, fourth and fifth. Bring the awareness to the palm of the hand, the back of the hand, the wrist, the forearm, elbow, upper arm. Draw that awareness down the length of the left side towards the left hip, the left thigh, the knee, ankle, heel of the left foot, sole of the foot, top of the foot, the left toes, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Bring the awareness to the back of the body, the back of the head resting on the floor. Now let the mind trace all the different parts of the body making contact with the floor. Notice the spaces of the spine, the shoulder blades, the backs of the legs, the arms. Draw the awareness to the front of the body. Bring the awareness to the top of the head. Soften the skin on the crown of the head. Draw the awareness to the forehead. Soften the skin across the forehead. From here we'll shift the awareness from left to right. Starting on the right side, right eyebrow, left eyebrow, right eyelid, left eyelid, right eye, left eye, right ear, left ear, right cheek, left cheek, the right side of the nose, left side of the nose, the tip of the nose. Bring the awareness to the upper lip, the lower lip, the tongue pressing gently on the upper palate. Soften the jaw, soften the collarbones. Bring the awareness to the right arm, the left arm, both arms together. Bring the awareness to the left leg, the right leg, both legs together. Bring the awareness to the whole back of the body, the whole front of the body, the whole body together, the whole body together. Become aware of this breath. In through the nose, out through the nose. Just awareness of this natural breath. Inviting now next, we invite different sensations into our body. And I want you to create the feeling of heaviness in the body. Visualize and feel physically within this body everything becoming heavy. Allow the arms and legs. Feel as though the arms and legs are made out of heavy metal and it's sinking and pulling you down into the floor. Just allow with that feeling of heaviness to come a complete feeling of relaxation. Now create the opposite sensation in the body. Create a sense of lightness, a feeling of lightness in the body, so light that this body is floating up off the floor effortlessly, weightlessly. Now invite the feeling of cold in the body. Feel that cold penetrating the bones, rushing over this body. Notice your reaction to the sensation of cold. Notice just this experience within this body. Now create the opposite sensation. Invite the feeling of warmth, of heat, slowly trickling into the body, eliminating all that cold. Feel that heat, feel that sweat on your skin. Now we visualize how we are walking along a lovely forest path. We feel the soil under the soles of our shoes. We hear the crunching of the gravel on our shoes. Taking our gaze up and around us, we notice the beautiful lush nature scene ahead of us. Abundance of trees in all shapes and sizes, and all shades of green. We listen to the sound of bird song echoing through this forest. We mindfully continue following this path, taking in the scenes around us, the sounds, the smells of nature. Footsteps on the gravel becomes a meditation in itself. We continue walking along this path until we find a beautiful temple right at the end of that path, fully surrounded by these trees, creating its own dome. At the entrance of the temple, we take off our shoes. We bow in humble respect as we enter, and we find a seat to enter into meditation. Visualize the body sitting, quieting, drawing that awareness to that space between the eyebrow center. Create a sense of vast, expansive space ahead of us. This inner space, our Chitakasha, our inner temple. And it's in the safe confines of this inner temple where we revisit that sankalpa, that intention we set for ourselves. Mentally revisit that sankalpa, repeating mentally 3 times, creating again that sensation of it being already so, feeling that sankalpa within the body, take a deep breath within this space. As we deepen this breath, we become aware of the body resting on the floor. We become aware of all the physical touch points and the floor. Slowly start to wiggle the fingers, the toes. We can slowly start to rotate the wrists, the ankles. Taking a deep breath in, reach those arms up and overhead. And as you exhale, bend into the legs. Take it slow as we mindfully awaken this body. Moving any supports out the way, we roll over to the side, coming into a fetal position. Bottom arm under the head for support. As we just slowly invite movement back into this body. Taking one more deep breath here, sealing in this feeling of our practice. Using the front arm, we push ourselves up into seated. Coming into an easy cross-legged pose, we bring the hands to heart center. In this quiet space, we take a moment to notice, what do we feel here? What do we notice here? How does a quieter practice differ and feel different within our body, within our mind, compared to a practice filled with movement? Let's close our space collectively, chanting Om Loka Samasta. Let's take a deep breath in. Exhale, let it go. Our next breath in to prepare. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. May all beings everywhere be at peace. Namaste. Peace to you, and thank you for practicing.